Right, let's get ourselves on the ball if you're not on the ball already. On your chair, if you're on the ball, your feet are going to want to be a little bit wider than they would be on a chair. And I should just check what you've got on your feet. So you need a bit of grip. I've got my grippy socks on. You can do it in bare feet if your feet can take it. Oh, no chance. But I wouldn't do it in really slippy socks because you're just going to try, particularly when we go on our front, you're just not going to have any grip. So if you need socks now, change your socks. You also, it's very hard to do it in shoes. You can give it a try. It might work for you because shoes are going to go on the ball as well. Right, we're going to start with a bit of breath work. So holding your bellies, holding your sides, just somewhere comfortable where you can feel stuff happening. We're going to breathe into our hands. So take a breath in.
And
Can't be grippy socks.
Oh, okay.
Have you got your socks?
I couldn't find them. They're in a cupboard with a load of other junk.
What's on your feet at the moment?
Socks.
Okay, just go careful.
Yeah.
So breath into your hands, into your belly.
Why? Not to chase my brother.
Feel it swell. And then breath out. Feel your belly pull back in. You might feel your sides coming in. We're going for that sort of corsety effect. Breath in. Let your belly fill. Let the sides go out. Breath out. That feeling, just pulling back slightly. One more breath in. Breath out. Rest your hands somewhere on your legs. Grow a little taller. You can press slightly into your feet at any time and you'll just feel you might go upwards just a little bit. Right, now we're going to try pelvic tilts. We're aiming, by the way, to be sat sort of in the centre of the ball. So you don't want to be like right at the edge like that. You don't want to be right at the back so your knees are completely back of your legs against the ball. You're sort of somewhere in the middle. So you might want to adjust a little bit. How about we put our hands on the ball because that can make things feel a little bit more secure. Right, we're going to try pelvic tilts from here. So it's your usual pelvic tilt, but the ball is going to move a little bit backwards and forwards. Obviously, if you're on a chair, the chair's not going to move unless you're on casters. You never know. Morning, Amy. Or afternoon? No, it's still morning. You've made it, well done. So you'll find on the ball, it's quite a small movement because you're sort of more squashed down. So it really gets into that lumbar spine, right low down. Right, now we're going to try bringing the hip up one side and the hip up the other side. Now, if you're on a chair, it's quite a small movement and you'll feel your leg going up. But on a ball, you can sit into the ball and just let it roll. And you might find you can make the movement a little bigger than you normally would. That's it. Feet are flat on the floor the whole time. Lovely. Right, now we're going to go in slow circles. You can go tiny or you can go as big as you like. If you're sitting on a chair, you might want to go for that sort of circle. But if you're on the ball, keep your hands on the ball. But you could try lifting your arms up, maybe out to the sides. You could try palms up. And then you could try bringing them in because your legs are wide, feet are on the floor. You are going to get all the noises, by the way. So either I've got an excessive wind problem or that's the ball on the mat. It could be one or the other. And then take it the other way. Sounds like a motorbike revving up. And then bring it back to the center. Now, hands can go here or hands can go here if it's feeling wobbly. Just starting very gentle rotations from your waist. If you've got osteoporosis, keep it gentle. Any twisting moves that we do today, if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, I want you to keep your twisting really small. But otherwise, you could make it a little bigger. You might have a hand on one knee and the other hand just goes around the back of the ball, just slides round. Keep your legs nice and wide. It gives you lots of stability. That's it. And then back to the center. Arms, turn your palms upwards, take them out to the side. Let's float them up and float them down, keeping your palms up. Breath in. Scoop up the air. Breath out, float them down. Breath in, scoop up. Breath out, float down. Next one's different. Breath in, float up. Breath out, W shape, pull your elbows down, oranges under the backs of your armpits, my favourite, citrusy squashes. Let them bounce up this time with that inhale, squeeze down with the exhale, lovely. Maybe grow a little taller as your arms bounce up. And squeeze down, last one. Lovely. A little salute. This always makes me think of Cheryl Cole or whatever. I don't know what her name is at the moment. Maybe she's just Cheryl. And then a little slide down the side. Hand is going down the side of the ball, or if you're sitting on the chair, it might be going down the side of your leg or even the side of your chair leg. And we'll just go for a few, but coming up really tall in between. We're doing well. We're at over 10 minutes in and no one's come off the ball yet. One more. And then a little swap over. And you can use an exhale as you go over to the side, and inhale as you come up. Couple more. And then bring your arms down. Now bring your feet inwards. We're going for wider than the 2 fists. So if you had extra fists, it's at least 3. And you can always take them wider. If you're in a chair, you can go for your standard width. Right, now we're going to go into some heel raises. So just feeling what it's like lifting your heels up on this. Your hands can be on your thighs. They could be on the ball. If you want a little bit more challenge, you could put your hands up here. You could Cossack your arms. You could even stick them behind your head and just concentrate on growing tall. So any of those things, whatever feels nice and whatever feels stable. Now take your hands down to the ball. So you want a bit more stability. We're going to peel 1 foot just about off the floor, maybe to your toe, and then take it down. Now you can feel the wobble start to happen. And then the other one. So think reindeer prancing, sort of dressage reindeer, but really slow. And where do you need to sort of pull in to control it? Somewhere down here, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Now, if you're feeling very brave, you could just take your hands away from the ball. Maybe rest your arms on the legs, give them a little wriggle, little roll, and try and keep your legs going. They don't need to come high. It's just that trying to get them just a little bit off the floor, but you could try taking them a little narrower. Now what I'd like you to do, as you're doing this very slow little walk, I want you to press the foot that's on the ground down a bit more. It's amazing how hard just the simplest things are. Very nice. You can see how hard it is for Hazel when we're doing seated and we start taking our leg forwards, but let's give it a little try. Just the tiniest bit forwards, just sliding that foot. If you're on the chair, you can lift it higher. If it feels okay, you can take it out a little further. Very good. And take it down, everybody okay? Excellent. Now take your legs out and in. So the feet's always a bit of foot on the floor, out and in. And we're just going as far as you comfortably can. And you can go all the way in so your legs are together. Your hands can always go back on the ball. That will give you just a little bit more sense of balance. Or you can bring them
to this on my ball.
Say that again, Virginia.
I shall look forward to doing this on the ball.
Things like the circles and stuff are really brilliant on the ball because you just get so much more movement. Last one. And then we're going to stay wide, but maybe not as wide as you possibly can. Now, if you're sitting, I want you to go for some glute squeezes. If you're on the ball, little bounces. Excellent. I knew this would look good on screen. So just starting to get that sense of bounce, just a bit. We're not going too crazy. I've seen some teachers do, they actually leave the ball and do things with their legs. Quite dangerous. Susie's getting very giddy.
Joining Susie.
You can start doing a little almost clap. And you can feel how it can really get into your legs. Can you get your feet right down on the floor? You're not leaving. Rachel. Lovely. And if you're sitting, you can go for the hands above the head, but you're glute squeezing. You won't be leaving the chair in quite the same way. Oh, it's a workout on the thighs.
Oh, it's hard work.
Take your legs down. Right. We're now going to come to standing. So this is like doing a sit to stand. So hinge forwards, keep the legs wide, gives you a good base. And you're going to push yourself up. Might want the arms in front of you because it gives you a little bit more momentum. Everybody up nicely. Lovely. Right. So now we're going to do a little bit of work where we're going to use the ball just to keep us steady. Now, what's going to happen at this point is your ball is either going to feel too low or too high. It's hard to get it in a perfect place. To be honest, you're using it just for a little bit of help. If it doesn't feel like enough, you can use a chair instead. If you're sitting, we're going to take our leg out to the side like that. But if you're standing, we're going to have our foot pointing forwards and raise the leg out to the side. That's it. Beautiful. Now this other arm, it can do whatever you like. It can just hang there. It could go up at the same time or stay up in the air somewhere. Gives you a little bit of extra balance on the opposite side. And you're trying to be as tall as you can, even if you're leaning over a little bit. You can see I'm sort of slightly at an angle. That's it.
I have to lean over because it's a long way down.
Bit low. Well, your ball does look on the smaller side, but it has its advantages in other moves.
No.
In an ideal world, you'd have, you know, a ball that's a little bit big and you'd have another one that's a little bit small, but who's got room for all that, you know?
Oh, the
Right.
trick for that one is stack them like a snowman.
Yeah. That's fun.
I like it.
And then turn round so that you're facing your ball. It's right against your legs. If you're standing, turn round so that you're facing the back of your chair. And if you're sitting, put your hands on your chest. So we're going to do a little hip hinge squat type move. So just start to take your bum back like you're closing a drawer, and your hands lightly push the ball forwards. And then you come to standing. So think of that bum going back like you're closing a drawer behind you. Your legs don't have to bend. They might bend very slightly, but if you'd rather, you could bend your legs quite a lot and make it a lot lower. So if you like a squat, you can bend your legs more. You could make this little, so it just pushes forwards a bit. Or you could make it, I'm going to step back so I've got further to go. You could make it much longer so that it feels like you're really stretching your top half out. Just depends the height of your ball and what's working for you. That's it. So just using the rolling quality of the ball in this one. Last one. And then you're going to walk around your ball to the other side, because we're going to do the other leg in that lateral lift. So if you're sitting on a chair, taking your leg like a gate, but if you're standing, you've either got your hand, could be on a chair, you could do it without. You might have your finger on the ball and you've got that leg with the foot going forwards, going as high as you can take it out to the side. Beautiful. And that other arm, wherever you fancy it. I reckon about 3 more of these. And then we're going to make our way down to the floor. So this is sitting floor work. So you're going to be sat down in front of your ball. And if you haven't got a ball, you can do it without anything. I'll show you the positions. And you can do it sitting in the chair as well. So if you're sat in the chair, take your legs a bit wider. I'll show you the chair position. So in the chair, you're going to push your hands forwards, pull your belly back, and you're sending your waistband. Imagine you've got high trousers on. You're sending your waistband back and then pulling up tall. So that's the position. Quite a small curve, especially if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, really very shallow. Right, if we're sitting with the ball, we want the legs wide enough for the ball to fit inside. If it feels like your back's already curling, you can be up on a cushion, just like normal on the floor. The ball's in front of you. You're going to push the ball forwards a little or put your hands out to the side, doesn't matter. And you're going to pull your belly back, and it's the waistband that's going back rather than going further back on your bum cheeks. And then pull yourself up tall. If you like, you can really hug the ball inwards. It'll help you sit a little taller. And then push it away, pull your waistband backwards. Your belly's going back with it, your head a little bow, and then pull it forwards. Your feet, you can really pull your toes back as you do this. And then as the ball goes forward, let them relax. Up or more.
Living room.
And then place your hands behind you. We are going to go, I'll show you the position. This is where you might want the ball against something for a bit, but we're going to use a bit of space for movement as well. But initially, we're going to have the ball like this. It could also be a chair with your legs on the chair, or you could have your legs down here like that. If you're sitting, just stay sitting. We're going to do a little bit of breath work. And if you wanted something under your head, I guess you could have something under your head as well, just as we normally would if we're on the floor. So this is the moment to sort of take your time getting there. And the ball is close to the back of your legs. You've got the back of your thighs on it and your calves on it. And the legs are just resting on the top, they're hip width apart, or a comfortable distance, about your 2 fists on the knees. And your arms can be down on the floor or on your belly. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to use your belly muscles to hug the ball a little closer. Now, if you're sat on the chair, it's like hugging your legs slightly closer to your chair when you're sat right back on it. Breath in, your legs just move away slightly, that ball moves a little bit. Breath out, all the breath going out of your belly, and you're pulling your ball back. It's like you're hugging it in with your legs. You can dig your feet in a little bit if you want. Breath in, let it relax. Breath out, pull the ball in. Breath in, relax. Breath out, pull in. One more. Breath in, let it relax. Breath out, pull the ball in. And now we're going to move that ball forwards a little bit. So just use your heels to move it forwards. If you're sat on a chair, come to the edge of your chair and place your heels together until your legs are quite long. They don't have to be fully extended. If you know that your knees easily start doing odd things at the back, they can be a little bit bent. So if you're on a chair, you're going to be sort of sliding, dragging your feet back. If you're on the ball, you're going to be using the ball to pull the ball back like that. So squeeze those heels together, your toes are going outwards, so your feet are in a V. Breath in. As you breathe out, press down on the ball and pull it back with your heels, let your knees go out to the sides. That's it. As you breathe in, push away. As you breathe out, pull towards you. Keep going. I'm just going to demonstrate if you're sitting on a chair. So you've got your knees like that. You might need to pull onto your chair, pull the legs back. You could step them forwards. There's going to be a lot more resistance because you've got the floor beneath you. But just going like that and slightly leaning back. And if you want to experiment with the ball going a little bit further away and your legs getting a little bit longer, whoops, a daisy, you can feel how far you can get without the ball pinging away from you. And your knees come in as far as you can. You might feel your back round against the floor a little bit. If you're sitting in a chair, you probably need a break because you're working with a lot more resistance. And one more like this, and then we'll all have a little bit of a break. So just rest your legs back on the ball. Put your arms outwards and just have a little flop. If you're sitting, just have a breather, maybe have a drink. Harder to get a drink when you're on the ball.
Hey, the Christmas meat just arrived.
Happy Christmas, Rachel.
Yeah.
And then we're going to push the ball away. So your heels are on the ball, but your legs are at 90 degrees. So you haven't got your calves on the ball. Your legs are hip width apart. You're going to slide one leg forwards and then the other leg forwards. But on the ball, we're going to work both legs. So press your heels down and extend your legs. And then press your heels down and pull the ball back till you're at 90. If it feels like your feet are slipping off, you might need to adjust every now and then. That's it. You can feel the abdominals, if you start pushing down into the ball, will work harder. So you can keep it so you're pressing lightly, or you can really press harder and it feels like your bottom's almost wanting to come off the floor. That's it. If you're sitting, go with one leg at a time. Now take your arms by your sides. Next time your legs are at 90 degrees, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, press your heels down, take your arms back overhead and your legs away. That's it. And as you breathe in, the arms come forwards and your legs come back to tabletop. Press down. That's it. If you're sitting, you can take both arms upwards like you're doing a double backstroke, but slide one leg away from you. That's it. If it feels a bit much with both arms, you could backstroke it. One arm going back and then the other arm.
There's too much furniture.
And if you want more, just really dig your heels into that ball and press down. You'll feel all sorts of hamstring stuff going on.
Yeah, but about 5 minutes ago.
Last one like this. Only problem I've got now is the next bit of my lesson plan is over there. So let me just roll off and squish it over. I think we're going into some twisty waist things. Yes, we are. Right, so now, if you're sitting on the chair, bring your legs together and shuffle forwards on your chair, just so you've got a little bit of room. If you're on the ball, bring the ball closer to you, your legs apart a little bit, hip width apart, but you're really hugging that ball in. Your arms, if you're with the ball and on the floor, are going to be in a T shape. If you're sitting, your legs start to sway from side to side a little bit. If you're on the ball, let your legs roll with the ball, keep hugging hold of it, and then pull yourself back to the middle and over to the other side. So it does give you quite a strong twist. So like I said at the start, osteopenia, osteoporosis, small twist, not going very far. But otherwise, if you know a twist is all right for you, you can really go for it with this one. It's much more intense. That's it. And you're lightly hugging that ball in towards you. Your legs feel like they're just holding on to it, not for dear life, but for security purposes.
What are we doing now?
And then roll back to the centre. And now take your feet together and your feet apart. No, wait a minute, your knees apart, that's the one. That would be impossible. So you're in a butterfly sort of position. And your arms down by your sides, but not close in, a little bit further outwards, palms downwards, just to give you a little bit of pressure. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going into a pelvic curl. Now, if you've got the ball here, your bum's going to want to go up in the air a little bit. If you're sitting on a chair, it's a normal pelvic curl, but a slightly different position because of your butterfly. And just keep going, tilting upwards, pubic bone towards nose, and then letting it go down towards the floor. And you're using that ball for a little bit of leverage. That's it. And this is a nice one for the pelvic floor because it's getting the work without it feel like you're in a lift and counting numbers and all those other things that we do in pelvic floor exercises. Let's do a couple more. and then rest. And just let your legs flop a little bit, sway a little bit. You might want to move your knees into your chest and just let the ball roll forwards and backwards a little bit. Just something that's gonna feel nice for you. Right, for this next bit, this is when it helps to have a bit of resistance if you're feeling a bit wobbly. I'll show you what we're doing. We're going into a little bridge. If you're on a chair, I'll show you a bridge option that you can do, but it's quite strong in the arms. Right, so on the ball, we hug the ball inwards. Arms are down by our sides quite close. And you're going to curl up a little bit higher into a bridge. It's a sort of low bridge, and then roll down. Now, if that's going to feel, you think, oh goodness, I'm quite nervous about doing that, wedge your ball against something first so that you haven't got to worry too much about keeping the ball still. If you're on a chair, you can do pelvic tilts, or let me just put that ball there a second. There's the option of coming forwards a little bit, putting your hands here and doing a little bridge like that. So it's stronger on the arms, and you might not need very many. Oh, that's looking lovely. And then have a pause. I'm going to give you another option now. This is more of a glute bridge when you don't articulate up, you just come straight up. So for this, the ball goes away and your legs are going to go straighter. They're apart, but they're not going to go super straight if you've got hyperextending knees. You can have the ball a bit closer if you know that happens. So this one is going to be a bit wobblier. You definitely need your legs at least hip width apart. Take your breath in, and as you breathe out, lift up your hips, your bum, straight up, and then take it down. It's much more hamstringy, this one, but you can squeeze the glutes as you come up. So really squeeze your bum cheeks together and press your arms down to the floor. Now, if you're in a chair and you liked that other exercise with the arms, you can do a similar thing. It's quite strong. So you just walk your legs forwards, dip down, dip up. I can't say I would want to do many of these. You can see my arms just bending a little bit. So you're getting much stronger on the arms if you do that one, if you're in a chair. Maybe two more if you're doing the glute bridges. And then take your feet off, roll yourself onto your side. We're about to get into a really fun section. Come up to standing. I'm going to take my headdress off because I feel that would be the best thing to do. So we're going to go into a face down position on it. So if you are sitting, you could take yourself to the wall. You could just watch and see what happens on this one for everybody else. They're nodding, they're going, yeah, we're definitely watching this. Right, I'm going to show you some options. The hardest thing about this is, one is getting in the position, two is your feet sliding around. So
The hardest thing about this is standing up in the first place.
yes.
Can get there from a one knee-ish position if you want to, Hazel. It just takes more energy to go forwards.
The best way to do this, I don't think there is a best way. You might like to go from kneeling and start to walk yourself. That's the safest way forwards, but it's not the nicest for everybody's knees. The other way, I take my legs wide and I sort of flop onto it and catch myself with my hands.
Very elegant that.
We're trying to have the ball. Oh, Penny looks like she's swimming. You're trying to get sort of this area against the ball. So sort of chest. So your legs have got a bit of movement and your arms have got quite a lot of support. This is nice if you have shoulder issues because you're not taking the weight into your shoulders. Right, lovely. Now you might want your palms flat. I like to go on fists for this one. I feel happier for my hands. You also might like your legs wider apart. The narrower they are, the wobblier it gets. Now just watch what your head's doing. So I have a tendency just to flop down. So it's already a bit of a neck and back exercise, just keeping your head up. Now we're going to just try and lift one leg up a little and down, and the other leg up a little and down. Does not need to be far. That's it. And see what it's like when you squeeze your bum a little bit. Does that help? That's it. So that's a way to work your low back and along the backs of your legs. I'm now going to take it into a slightly different position. I'm going to roll back and redo myself. I'm going to take it into a more planky position. Whoa, that was more than I expected. So this is more, you can see my feet are off the floor and it's more under your pelvic area. So that's the one where I really find I go flying with this one. But with this one, I feel that the neck feels happier. And also it gives me a bit of room to go into press-up sort of planking positions. Now it could be the ball goes even further back. I'm going to have to take another dive for this one. So now it's on the legs and not the pelvis. Now I can feel I've got a bit of weight at the front and it makes me feel much more comfortable doing press-ups, but it's going to vary for everybody depending on where you feel that you need the support. So this is where we have a bit of a play around with it. That's it. And then do your final, whatever you're enjoying. It might be your legs moving, it might be you going into a press up. Widen your legs as you push yourself back. Nice and slow. We're going to go back into sitting on it. So you might want to try and roll yourself up using the ball. But to be honest, grace and elegance is not not the way to do it, just any way that works for you. And then we come back to sitting.
I think having a bit of weight is actually beneficial because I feel like it's squashing it down more, so I'm not as precariously balanced as you are.
It'll give you more stability.
Hey. Look to the bright side.
It's good for osteoporosis as well, Rachel.
I can't get off.
Right, now, Susie, can you get off the ball?
No.
Are you stuck? Okay. So do you feel better going forwards or backwards?
Forwards.
Forwards, okay. Have you got, do you want to slide off to the side?
There's a door there, but I'll try.
Well, just very slowly, just let yourself slide. Yeah, that's it.
I might call for help. Hang on.
Oh, no.
I'm mute.
Can you push yourself? Can you take your knees down and roll back to your knees?
I'm stuck. My mum's coming. I'm stuck on the ball. Can you help me off? I'm stuck. Help.
I'm trying to think what you'd need around you.
Can we get back?
I say, once you get so far forward, trying to get momentum to move backwards can be quite
Pull me
intense.
back. No, not from my shoulders, sort of area.
I'm gonna so you have a bit of room.
You're going over.
She's off.
Oh, she's off. She's off. She's all right.
Oh dear.
That was nice and slow. You can unmute yourself, Susie. She's all right, everybody. Right, legs nice and wide on the ball. Go don't need to be on the ball for this bit, Susie. You can stay sitting if you want. And just give your shoulders a bit of a roll.
Sorry about that. I had my legs stuck up in the air.
And then let's bring our shoulders down, turn our head one way and the other. Come back to the center, give yourselves a hug. You could do circles, you could do figure eights, big or as small as you like. Other way. Oh, swap the hug over, I've forgotten that. All the directions. And then, like you're taking off a jumper, and open your arms out. We'll have a little bend over one way and the other. And then we're going to bend over and then offer your arm forwards, little hinging around, that's it. And then side bend the other way and swoop forwards. We'll do another couple of those. And the last one. Shoulders up with a breath in. Shoulders down, breath out. Shoulders up, breath in. Shoulders down, breath out. One more, shoulders up, breath in. Shoulders down, breath out. Arms out, breath in. Hands to touch. Breathing out, hands to chest. Woo! You came through it. And apart from she's getting stuck,